Begin by setting anchor stones deep into the ground. These are large, angular rocks placed every 6 feet or so to help hold the paving stones together. Once the anchors are set, lay paving stones, forming the trail tread. Move the rocks around until you get the best fit, locking them into place like a jigsaw puzzle. Sometimes, the rocks need to be shaped to get that perfect fit. Remember to wear eye protection. Fill the gaps between the paving stones with sand or crushed rocks, packing them tightly to create a solid surface. Finally, define the sides of the armoring with large rocks or logs to keep riders on the trail. Crossing drainages or streams is inevitable on contour trails. Stream disturbances, however, can harm aquatic life. You need to work with the land manager to find out what you can and cannot do. Bridges and culverts are an option, but require money, and at times, engineers and heavy equipment. Sometimes, an armored crossing can be a good alternative. Armoring is used when the stream is shallow, less than 3 feet during high water. Look for stream banks with gradual slopes, less than 8%. You'll need to armor both the entry and exit sides of the crossing, at least a bike length above the high water mark. Include grade reversals above the armoring to keep water from collecting on the trail and flowing into the stream. Rider skills and bike technology have grown immensely since the birth of mountain biking. Today's riders are seeking out more challenging trails.
Technical trails don't require mountains. You can work with what you have no matter where you are, and you can create a very technical trail by using a combination of rocks, exposure, adjusting just the trail corridor and the height level and the sight lines, and using natural obstacles. Actually, I think, is a more appealing way of creating a pleasing technical ride than bringing in man-made obstacles.
Let's look at some natural features that will add challenge. Rock slabs and boulders provide steep, yet sustainable riding. Rock gardens are tricky, requiring slower speeds and balance. Exposure adds a real psychological challenge.
That's so cool.
Log rides require focus, balance, and determination. And rock and log drops are thrilling and build confidence. When designing for drop-offs, create landing zones that are sloped downward 5 to 15%. When adding challenge, you'll need to design in safety features. Give fair warning of challenges ahead. Provide good sight lines, or add signage. Place high skill level qualifiers, such as a narrow opening between rocks or trees, before the feature. This demonstrates the difficulty of the challenge ahead and gives riders an opportunity to back out or walk. Provide an easier, alternative route for users who don't want to do the challenge. Finally, provide adequate fall zones for riders who fail to negotiate the technical feature. A well-designed trail with fun challenges will keep riders coming back again and again. Once a trail is built, it needs to be maintained on a regular basis. Routine maintenance includes reopening the corridor, restoring the outslope, and improving water drainage. To reopen the corridor, trim back encroaching vegetation. and remove downed trees that block the path. To improve sustainability, re-establish the 5% outslope. To do this, remove any built-up berms on the outside of the trail. And remember to compact the entire surface. Now let's look at some ways to improve water drainage. A great time to evaluate drainage on your trail is during snowmelt or when it's raining. Some signs of poor drainage are puddles on flat areas of the trail and ruts caused by water running down the trail. If you can't get out when it's raining, use a foam ball to evaluate water drainage. If the ball continues to roll down the trail, this indicates where ruts will form. If the ball stops on the trail, this is where water will puddle.
Okay, so here's our fall line trail, and here's our water. A fall line trail will encourage water to flow straight down it. By using these balls, we can demonstrate where our water is going to flow.
You might even find something tucked away in your pack that'll work. The traditional way to correct drainage problems is to use wood or rubber water bars, but they can be problematic. They often clog with debris and need constant cleaning. And some users end up going around them, widening the trail. Let's look at other techniques that will divert water off existing trails. Nicks are used on flat trails where puddles form. A nick is a shaved-out section of trail, a sloping semicircle cut into the tread, about 10 feet long or 2 bike lengths. The center of a nick is outsloped about 15%. This ensures water will run off the trail. Nicks should be smooth, subtle, and unnoticeable to users. On steeper sections of trail, where ruts have formed, a nick alone won't be able to fix your drainage problems. In these cases, construct a rolling grade dip to keep water from bypassing the nick and continuing down the trail. A rolling grade dip is a nick with a mound on the downhill side. This mound is built up with the dirt removed from the nick and transitions onto the existing trail with a gentle ramp about 15 feet long. The mound will force water to exit off the trail at the nick. Don't confuse a rolling grade dip with a grade reversal. They are very similar, but grade reversals are built into new trails. Rolling grade dips are built into existing trails to fix drainage problems. To maintain nicks and rolling grade dips, regularly remove any leaves, needles, and silt that have built up over the season. If rolling grade dips and nicks don't solve your water problems, maybe it's time to consider a reroute. When rerouting a section of trail, remember to follow the same design elements you used when building a new trail. The 10% overall grade, the half rule, the maximum sustainable grade, grade reversals, and 5% outslope tread. Reclaiming a damaged section of trail is just as important as designing sustainable reroutes. Trail users tend to remember where their old trail was and will continue to use it if it's not properly disguised. Begin reclaiming the old section of trail by scarifying the trail tread. Dig up and loosen the dirt at least 2 inches deep. When reclaiming a steep section of old trail, place logs, rocks, or straw bales across the path to minimize erosion. Next, naturalize the tread by transplanting native grasses and plants. To fill in the vertical corridor opening, plant shrubs and trees, even if they may not survive. Sprinkle leaves, pine needles, and even small branches to add a final touch. Mountain biking, what an experience! In this program, you learned how to build a sustainable rolling contour trail using the 10% overall grade, the half rule, the maximum sustainable grade, grade reversals, and 5% outslope tread. We also demonstrated how to build climbing turns, armor water crossings, and increase challenge using natural features. Finally, we talked about how to naturalize your construction zone and reclaim old trails. Great single track comes from designing fun trails that are sustainable. Trails you come back to over and over again. Trails that you can't decide which direction is more fun to ride. Trails that won't erode and will be there for years. Now that you know how to build a sustainable rolling contour trail, go out and create an experience.
I like mountain biking because I can take my kids with me.
It's a good use, mountain biking.
I enjoy mountain biking for the long uphills, the quick downhills, and the thrill of the ride.
I like being outside, I like being out in the weather, getting exercise.
Well, I like going mountain biking because you get to be out in the nature and seeing the wildlife and stuff like that.
I've ridden a lot of miles with many friends, and it's just kept me fit over the years.
I like being out in nature. I love wildlife and seeing wildlife and bringing my family and my 4 kids.
Why wouldn't you like mountain bike riding in the woods?
I like mountain biking because it gets me in nature.
I like trails, and I kind of wish the trail would go like from here to Idaho.
Because of the big adrenaline rush.
I love mountain biking. I moved to Colorado 12 years ago for mountain biking.
I love mountain biking because it's just such a thrill.
It's a good time. It's good exercise and it's extremely fun.
It's very exhilarating.
Puts my life in perspective.
It's really quite a nice thrill to ride without automobiles and exhaust and all that sort of stuff around you.
I like to mountain bike because I get myself out in the woods and it's a quiet time. I can reflect on my life and just why I'm so lucky I have a great life and a great place to live.
You get to go places that the roads don't take you.
Because it smells good. Might see some animals.
The challenge, I like how intense it can be and then how mellow it can be, and I like the speed in it and I like how dirty it is and it's fun.
I like to hang out outside and be in the mountains and out in the fresh air and biking with my dog.
They look really enthused.